What's up, guys? It is Sunday in the early afternoon. What's up, man? Early afternoon, about 2 o'clock. Very nice out today. Overcast, but that's all right. It's still rainy season after all. I didn't really notice, but it looks like it had rained earlier. I was inside, so I'm not really sure. I didn't hear it coming down outside my apartment like I normally do. But it appears as if it's quite wet out here. A couple people asked some questions about teaching, and I'm going to answer those to the best of my ability. One of them is coming here. He's already got his TEFL. He's already saved up the money he's going to need until he starts teaching. He's already got an interview lined up, actually, for about a week after he arrives. He is going to be arriving in Phnom Penh. So I want to start by saying that I live in Siem Reap, of course, so I can't speak for Phnom Penh. But this is going to apply, I think, almost anywhere in a city in Cambodia. Specifically, should he go to the bigger schools or check out smaller schools? And that's kind of a tough one to answer because they both have advantages and disadvantages. But I would say in general, if you do want a job with a bigger, more well-known school. I would definitely not tell anybody don't go to those, don't try. They do tend to have a longer waiting list. They usually, because of that, because they are popular, they usually require more experience and, better qualifications. But still, if you don't go, you'll never know. And the reason they're big and popular is because they're fair to the students and the teachers they have there. Schools that have a long or a big list of applicants are usually very good to the teachers. And that's why people want to work there. That's why they're so popular. So I would definitely go to the bigger, well-known schools. Now the downside is, like I said, first of all, there might not be as many opportunities to get hired quickly. And second, they're usually very disciplined and organized, which means you're not going to have a lot of leeway in your teaching material or your teaching style. They want things taught in a certain way. They want certain things taught on this day, and this day, and you have to kind of adhere to what they want. They might not be as flexible on taking time off when you need it. Because like I said, they reach the status, and they're very well known, very popular. The students love going there and teachers like working there. But that requires a certain amount of rules and things you must follow and do. in order to stay employed. Now, on the other hand, and plus the money, you're probably going to get paid more money in these schools because they have more students, and you shouldn't have to negotiate as hard to get the money that you want. Now, on the other hand, the smaller schools, you might not get as much money. You might take a couple $100 a month pay decrease because they don't have as many students. They're not as well known. That doesn't necessarily mean that they treat their teachers or staff poorly. You have to understand that all these international schools are all fighting for basically the same students. There's only so many students to go around. And so some of them have the money to build bigger campuses and offer more curriculum, more choices for the students. The parents like that, and they will spend their money with those schools. Other schools might charge a lesser price for the education, and they don't have a lot of extracurricular activities. And of course, if parents don't make a whole lot of money and are just looking for an affordable option, these smaller schools are a really good choice. And you being a teacher there is good because they need teachers just as bad as the bigger ones. But you might not make as much money because they don't charge as much money. But these smaller schools also tend to be more flexible. If you need a day off without much or any notice, they're usually really good about just giving it to you. You'll have more flexibility in the way you teach and what you want to teach. The last school I was at, I had full control for the most part over that. As long as I was teaching them something that had to do with English, I was free to make my own kind of curriculum every day. And so if you're more of a creative type and you like that kind of flexibility, it might be worth a small pay cut to go with a smaller school. But I would go to a combination of both smaller and bigger schools. Because like I said, you don't put all your eggs in one basket as far as schools go. You might get a call back the same day. You might not get a call back at all. So much like selling, finding a teaching job here is a numbers game. And that's the second question he had, that a lot of people say, and this is true, they do say that the best way to find a job is to get out there and walk around and find one. I don't think, and I know I've said that before, but I don't actually mean it like that's all you need to do is just walk around and stumble on a job. You should do some planning beforehand. But I think what that's trying to say is that the best way to get a job here in Cambodia is to actually go to the schools cold, walk in with your resume, your cover letter, and a passport size picture attached to your resume, and hand out your packets, those little packets like that, to as many schools as you can. But that doesn't mean just go wandering around looking for schools. Make a plan. If you don't know where any schools are, talk to your fellow expats that have been here a while. They will probably know. They might even have contacts for you. They might even have leads and tips. They might know when job openings are becoming available in certain schools because they've been here, and they talk to other expats who are probably teachers. So they might have some inside information that other people won't. You can also look on Google Maps for schools. You know, use Google. It's your friend. Find where all these schools are. Make sure to drop pins on all of them that you're interested in on your Google Maps, and then come up with a plan for every day to go to a certain amount of schools, grab a tuk-tuk or a pass app, and drop your packets off at so many schools each day. Now when you do that, and like I said, if you use Google Maps, it's easier because you can plan your routes, so you're not wasting money in a tuk-tuk or pass app by going randomly one side of town, then the other side of town, then in a different area altogether. Get all the ones that are grouped together in a certain area. Do about 10 a day if you can. And there are plenty of schools to do that with. And eventually you'll get a call back, or 2, or 3. And here's a tip, I mentioned this before, but it's important. When you're handing in your packet, to the best that you can, try to talk to a person in charge, a director, or a head teacher when you drop off your packet. A big mistake a lot of people, well, I don't know about a lot of people, but I know some people have made, is just walking into schools saying, hello, I'm here for an English teaching position, handing their packet over to the receptionist or the person at the front desk. And a lot of times, more often than you think, that's as far as your packet's ever going to get to anybody in charge. So the first thing you want to remember is, when you go in, be just as respectful and polite to the person sitting behind that desk as you would to the director himself. Be friendly. Be conversational. And there's a chance that for you, if you do that, they might make an exception and actually let you speak to the director immediately, or to hand it to him directly. Now, I'm not saying don't leave your packets there if you can't, but just be prepared to do callbacks if that's the case. If you have to just leave your packet at a front desk, wait a couple days, go back to that school and ask about it if you haven't already gotten an offer or a job from someplace else. Like I said, a lot of times these packages don't get past the front desk, so don't just go in there and say, hi, I'm an English teacher, here's my stuff, get it to the director. Be a little bit friendly, but respectful, of course. And always, always ask if you may speak with the director. A tip I'm going to give you, well, I'm just going to say this. You don't have to lie to anybody, but you might, if you walked in and said, like, my name's, you know, I'll give my name. Hello, my name's David Royce, and I'm here to see the director at 11 o'clock. And then look at your watch. It kind of makes it sound like you have an appointment and that he's expecting you, even though you didn't actually say that. You just said, this is your name, which is true. You're here to see the director, that is also true. And it's almost 11 o'clock or whatever time it is, that would also be true. But sometimes it's the way you say things, not necessarily what you mean, but it's the way you say them that can make a difference. That's just a little tip. Use it if you want, don't use it, but it could work in some cases. And also, and the person that wrote me the email, they're very intelligent, they're very well written email, and I don't think you're going to have a problem getting a job here. Got their head on right and all that, but just so I can mention it, because this has happened before also. Dress up when you go to drop off your packages, not just for the interviews, because you might get one right away, you never know, but dress up like you're ready to impress somebody. Wear some khaki pants, dress shoes, you know, a long sleeve button-up shirt with a tie, that kind of thing. Make yourself look presentable. And I know that might sound obvious, and I know I've said that before, but the amount of times people show up in, you know, blue jeans and a short sleeve shirt, wearing flip-flops, would probably surprise you. So don't be that person. But yeah, I will say this, in Phnom Penh, you have a much better chance of getting a job. There's more schools, more opportunities. But I prefer Siem Reap because I like the city. I like the vibe of the city. It's smaller. Not as much petty crime, that sort of thing. And that's the other thing I will say when you're deciding where to teach. You can't just think about where is best to get a job the quickest, but also where's the best place for you to live, because when you're not working, you're going to have a life. You're going to be getting out, you're going to be doing things, and you want to live somewhere where you can enjoy your off time just as much as you enjoy your teaching time, right? So take that into consideration also. All right, that was a big long answer to the questions, and I hope it helped. It's really all the advice I can give you. Like I said, I think this person is going to be all right. Okay, I just added another blog post to my Road to 1,000 page. The link is down below. Go ahead and check that out. I talk about, actually on this page, I talk about who are you teaching? Something to think about when you're in a classroom. How to think of your students as more than just kids, and why it's important. So I got that up. Be sure to check that out. Also be sure to share the Our Mission page on there. This will help me reach our goal faster. We're up to $216 per month, and that is really, really awesome. Well, like I said, I'm still reaching for that first initial goal of as close to $500 a month as we can get. Even if we got to do it $1 at a time, that is fine. So if you're thinking about donating, or you've been on the fence about it, now would be the best time. And we can keep adding more and more students over there at the temple. All right, the rest of my links are down below also. Sanglai's cooking channel is down below. My other YouTube channel, Make Money with Dave, is down below. All my social media links, they are also down below, so feel free to check all those out. Or ignore them. Whatever it is you wish to do. And I will talk to you guys in the next one.